had, like, when I was reading your bio, it was so interesting because there was, I mean, you've had quite a career. Besides being an investigative reporter, you've been a photographer, you've been, you know, and in your own way, you've been an activist as well. And could you talk a little bit about, because off camera, we were talking about Julian Assange, which we're going to get to here. You talked about that you were present at, when he was removed from the embassy. Could you talk a little bit about kind of your journey and how that led to, you know, your activism and your outspokenness about Assange and whatnot?
Well, I'm lucky. By the way, I'm very happy to be here with Comrade Missy. We're Twitter friends, but we've never spoken before. So I'm thrilled about that. But I'm lucky on my show because I am able to cover things like the Assange situation. And when Assange was removed from the Ecuadorian embassy, my radio station flew me over to cover that. So I was there that evening.
Okay.
And have you ever been to Ecuadorian embassy?
I have not. No.
I was shocked by it. You wouldn't know it necessarily, but I was shocked. I had been to London a few times before.
Right.
And it's near Harrods department store.
Oh, it is? It's near Harrods? Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I've been there.
It's not only near Harrods, but it's like a block from here. It's like half a block.
Oh, okay. Okay. I did not know that.
You could throw a sandwich at it.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
And it's that close. So I was shocked. If Assange had wanted to run out and run into Harrods, he would have made it.
He should have gone to the chocolate room in Harrods. Remember the chocolate room? Yeah.
When I was waiting for stuff, I used to go over there and have tea because the Harrods food court is posh.
Yeah, very posh.
Very posh, but it's a fun place.
It is.
And
especially at Christmas. Yeah.
No, what were you saying?
Especially at Christmas. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, and I've been there at Christmas too. So I was stunned at how close it was. Really, it's the same tube stop as Harrods, and it's half a block away. No fooling. Kitty corner across the street from one of the entrances. So I went to the Ecuadorian embassy and I saw on the street in front of the embassy, this was about 12 hours after Assange had been taken out of there. I saw garbage and I saw stuff that had been taken out of Assange's room. It was on the street, being picked up as garbage. So naturally, I took a look because they were throwing it out. And so that was interesting. And I got to go to, there was almost immediately a demonstration at Belmarsh Prison. And so I spoke at Belmarsh Prison along with the legendary George Galloway and a couple other people.
I think Richard Medhurst.
Yes. And it was freaky. I've got to say, being about 100 yards from Belmarsh, knowing that Assange was in there.
Yeah.
Was very powerful. Because it's one thing to cover a story academically or from a distance, but it really brought home for me. And I always emphasize this. I always try to remember this is a human being. Aside from a symbol of journalism, this is a human being. And then I've been especially struck by, he had some health problems a few months ago, and he had a stroke in prison. And I've had a stroke too. I've had about half a dozen, which is why I'm speaking somewhat haltingly.
I'm sorry, Lee, and I'm glad that you're better, and I can barely tell you're doing really well. I mean, as far as
no,
recovering.
thank you. But you know, I hear myself and I sound freakish because I know how my voice is supposed to sound. But I can't imagine having had a stroke and being in prison. I can't imagine. Having a stroke is frightening enough.
Right.
You know, and it really forces you to think about your mortality and everything else.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that. So I always think about that. And I always ask, we have Taylor Hudak on the show, who's a great activist for
Mhm,
Assange too.
mhm,
And I always ask about what's going on with his wife, with his kids, how they're
mhm.
putting up with that. And just the human tragedy. I think it's too easy sometimes for people to approach Assange as a symbol.
Right.
And that's valid in some ways, but
Mhm.
he's also just a dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah.
putting him down. I'm saying,
Yeah. He's a human being.
right,
Yeah.
he's a human being and with health problems
Mhm.
who's more or less being tortured to death.
Yes.
I've said for a while, uh, also, I was a Trump supporter in 2016. When he was taken out of the embassy, I stopped being a Trump supporter. When that happened under Donald Trump,
Mhm.
I just said, I'm off the Trump train. I can
Right.
never say I'm a supporter. And the stuff we've learned since then, that Mike Pompeo was planning potentially a gunfight to
Mhm.
get Assange if he tried to escape. You've heard that, right?
Right. They were
Mhm.
plotting to assassinate him, the CIA.
And
Yes.
as when you know what I said about Harrods, it's right off Kensington High Street. It's
Mhm.
right. It's like if Pompeo were planning a gun battle in Times Square.
Right.
The sickness of that plan, and I still don't think we know enough about it. And so I'll always bring up, and the fact that uh, much of that operation spying on Assange was funded by Sheldon Adelson, I think shows you the fix was in. When
There you have
Trump's
it.
number one funder and the
Mhm.
number one funder behind the Republicans were helping spy on Assange,
Yeah.
when he was doing that, I think that shows. So, in a
Yeah.
sense, I'm not shocked that things have gone the way they've gone, but I'm hoping we a miracle happens and we get some good news, but I'm not betting on it.